Yo, yo.
Hi, besties.
What up, everybody?
You know what time it is.
That's right. It's Tuesday.
It's
Which
Tuesday.
means?
Tuesday
What does that
night
mean?
besties. Why
one and
am I
only.
disappearing on one side? I gotta fix my chair, I think. Oh my gosh, what a good show. I enjoyed it again.
It was a great show. Great show in Atlanta, Georgia. In front of that ruckus crowd. Had a rapper Killer Mike in the crowd.
Love him.
I mean, look, let's go. It was a big show. We're getting ready for Vengeance Day, which is actually going to be in just a couple of weeks. So I thought it was a great show tonight. A lot to love and not a whole lot to dislike tonight.
Yes. I'm just always wrong. So I'm going to stop thinking that I know what might happen because I am.
Oh, I know what you're referring to.
Well, what? Oh, there was. I thought there was. Oh, did I? I told you, didn't I? I just thought
you told me.
Oh, I thought for sure there was. I thought for sure at the end was going to be a title change. I really did.
Yep.
Because
Amanda thought that Jakara and Lash were walking away with the titles.
I really did. I thought that we were going like boop boop boop, and that was the way that they were going to flip them around over on the main roster. So shows the mark, Mr. Marks. We don't always know what we're talking about. We don't know what we think we're saying. And let us know what you think you're seeing over here in these little comments over here to the right. I see you, Elite Spear. I'm so happy you're here.
Yo. Let's go. First one.
Love the besties. There are some OG besties for sure that will always have a special place in my heart.
Right.
Oh, really? That is interesting.
It did. Yes. So if you missed the ending, so the main event, again, to catch everybody up tonight, which was, I'll go ahead and say it was the best match of the night. The main event was Women's Tag Team Championship match, Naomi and Bianca Belair against the Meta Girls, Last Legend and Jakara Jackson. And Jakara pinned Naomi, and that was most definitely a 3 count. Most definitely a 3 count, but it wasn't supposed to be. Yeah. So Naomi flipped the pin, and Bianca comes in, does the K. They do a double KOD, match over. 1, 2, 3. So they retain, but the crowd obviously did not like that ending because Jakara pinned Naomi 1, 2, 3.
Well, maybe it's for a reason, because honestly, it could be that they're just not doing it here. They might do Vengeance Day with them again. I thought, oh, okay, this is what I genuinely believed. I believed that Bianca and Naomi would lose it here, and that it would be due to some kind of shenanigans from Dom or Liv and Raquel, like some combination to add them to Vengeance Day, to have them take the titles back there, so that it puts them on Liv and Raquel without Bianca and Naomi having to drop it to them. And then you still add, but then I said that to someone else and they were like, they don't need more main roster people on Vengeance Day. Then it's just a main roster show with a couple NXT people. And I was like, oh, my just whole theory is busted. So yeah, I was surprised at the finish, but it was a very good match. And I think that they continue to demonstrate that Lash and Jakara are very much losing by the skin of their teeth, right? They're not getting blown out by the champs either time. So the combination of, and I thought it was important that they pointed that out on commentary. I think it was Corey Graves, right? Like he said, I enjoyed Corey tonight. I let myself go ahead and own and acknowledge that I don't like change. And so I was like, okay, put yourself just in, pretend he's always been here. Like rather than it's a new thing, like just what is it that you're experiencing? And I had a better time with that. So I will say.
Trending in a positive direction. Here we go. We'll take it.
Yes. But I do think that it was important to note that like they barely lost to Jade and Bianca, and now they're barely losing to Naomi and Bianca. I think that there stands to reason that whatever the Lash Legend Jakara Jackson plus the main roster tag team 3 is, right? Like, I do think they'll get it at some point. Maybe they need to be on the main roster to do it. Who knows? The other thing, there was a lot tonight. I was kind of, I'm not that I was surprised, but I thought that things would be wrapped up in a little tighter of a bow before Royal Rumble for some reason.
Why you say that?
I thought that, I thought there were people that we just won't have come back. Like, I almost honestly was like, oh, why is Trick going to be here next week? Like, why? Like, no. I've already had my heart set on the fact that Trick's in the Rumble and then out of here. Like, what do you mean he's there next week? Or there was someone else that I was like, oh, Fallon Henley. She also, spoiler, she retained against Shotzi, but I thought that was going to be something that switched around too. Always wrong. That's fair.
Yeah.
That is
I
fair.
mean, I guess the only person that would make sense in that case that I would think would go to the main roster and just not come back would be Roxanne. But she still needs, she hasn't even gotten her rematch yet, which she made very clear to NXT general manager Ava tonight. So
yeah.
So big Vengeance Day coming up. But before we get there, as you just said, some of the things that were highlights for me tonight. It was hard to pick a best of the best because there was so much to pick from. I love the main event. And I love Trick's segment. I'm telling you, Amanda.
It is. I am on board now.
It's happening.
I'm there. It's happening.
No scoops here. Just predictions.
Here,
and sometimes those predictions can be scoops. Because we said that a while ago. I think Trick is doing what I think he was doing. I think he's going heel. And just imagine, just picture it. Trick Mello Gang with this whole, Trick Williams wasn't even Trick Williams yet when they were Trick Mello Gang the first time. Like, just imagine how much bigger they're going to be with this version of Trick Williams, who's been 2-time NXT champion. It's a whole different, I can't wait. I really hope that happens. Either way, we're getting a heel Trick, even if he doesn't join with Mello again. I love it. I'm loving this new side. This is what made me fall in love in the first place with that whole Trick Mello Gang era. But I think my best of the best tonight was Fallon Henley. Her match with Shotzi was absolutely phenomenal, a great match. And I think Fallon really needed this kind of title defense to kind of lift her reign a little bit. It's, she's been left off the cards a couple of times. And I think she really needed a good, solid title defense. And so they bring Shotzi to NXT from the main roster to, I guess, lift Fallon up, right? To elevate her and lift her up a little bit with the title defense. So Fallon beat Shotzi, but she's got a whole new monster ahead of her at Vengeance Day. We'll see how she does against Stephanie Vaquer. But for now, the reign continues. Fatal Influence. Fallon Henley is the NXT Women's North American Champion.
Do you feel like there was subtle breakup clues in the Fatal Influence promo after? Because I often have missed the faces that people make when they deliver their lines because I've been writing, right? The last couple weeks, I have not been writing. I've been just watching the show. And it is a little different because I wouldn't have just picked up, if I had just been listening, I wouldn't have picked up the fact that JC kind of jumped in over Fallon and she made a face. And then Fallon volunteered JC basically to have a match and she kind of made a face, but then was like, yeah, I'll see you next week. As if it was her idea as well, but it didn't seem like it was her idea. So I don't feel like I've ever been obsessed with them as a group. So I would be okay if they ended up breaking up especially, I don't know. I feel like JC Jane is someone.
I think you're onto something. I think they've been teasing it for a while, actually. I think I noticed it. Honestly, I started noticing it all the way back with the debut on the CW network. Yeah. I feel like back in October, they had already kind of started teasing this. So, yeah, I've definitely noticed. And it's been JC a lot more than Jasmine, obviously. Yeah. Jasmine, I feel like, doesn't even get enough time to even do anything. Let's be real here. Jasmine gets no time to do anything. That is the one thing I will complain about with Fatal Influence is you obviously know who JC Jane is from what she did with Toxic Attraction. We already know Fallon Henley, what she's been doing, what she did with Briggs and Jensen for so long and her reign as the champion. But Jasmine's I think she's had one match by herself. And it's even in the tag matches, she doesn't do anything. She doesn't get to do anything. She doesn't get to say anything. So yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you on this group. It's like it feels like a house show version of Toxic Attraction. It's
Yes.
that sounds very harsh, but like
But it does.
it's not. With Toxic Attraction, they all were big deals.
Yes.
Like JC and Gigi were tag champs for a long time. Mandy Rose was obviously the women's champ for a long time. But like even when they weren't champions, they were still a big deal, and they felt like a big deal.
Yeah.
And this group just, you got Henley as the champion, and then JC who's jealous of her, and then Jasmine who's just there.
Yeah, just kind of there. Yeah,
with their face mask on.
With their face mask on now. I'm curious about what. Yeah, so I am curious about what the future will hold for them.
I am too.
I am happy to share my my best of the worst. Is that what I say? I don't remember. What these glasses are not helpful, to be honest. They are not helping me. I can't.
I'm not supposed to be wearing mine. I took mine off. It's not working.
I'm like squinting. I don't think this is doing it. But I do see that. Oh no. MDB's here.
MDB.
And he also pointed out that it's fair. It's cold. It is cold. This is winter.
It's very cold.
So this is sort of dumb, but why the heck did we break up Briggs and Jensen? If you're just gonna have Briggs go make a new best friend, and bring him from Pro Wrestling Noah to NXT and start a new damn tag team, because I have to suffer through. I just feel like I don't think Brooks Jensen's current
his new character's stupid. Like it's stupid. Like I don't even know what it's supposed to be.
I feel like he's like Sean Spears' creepier friend. But Sean Spears is he himself, the creepy guy. So it's like you kind of have a creepy boss guy. Like, do you remember in The Office there's Robert California? It would be like if Robert California just had like his own mystery, non-speaking kind of weird henchman. And then they have like the third guy as well, who I'm not remembering his name in this moment. Is it Nico Price?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Did I make that up? Right. I hope I didn't just make that up. But yeah. I don't really understand what all that is. And then it just like pissed me off. It like irrationally pissed me off that then Josh Briggs is like, we're chasing tag team gold, brother.
We're going after Fraxium, and he gets him a jacket.
I was so pissed. Like, oh my God. I don't know. I like the three of them together, but I particularly thought they were a cute kind of like older brother, younger brother tag team. And I'm very cheesy. I like it when gimmicks are extremely easy to understand from like an outsider, and I thought that was something that was really nice about Briggs and Jensen, is that you don't have to have deep it's like the Creed brothers. You don't have to have deep character history to be at a match or like at a live show and see like, oh, these guys are cowboys, you know what I mean? Like these guys are America. Like you can figure it out, and it helps to, I don't know, I just think it helps make everything.
See, I didn't like that segment for a different reason, because like I didn't like Briggs and Jensen either.
Oh,
like I didn't.
Yeah, you're not like a Briggs and Jensen fan. I'm just standing over Briggs and Jensen.
I didn't like them either, but I did like Briggs by himself.
Yes, that too.
Like I mean, let's not forget.
Yeah,
Briggs was in one of the best matches. Of all last year, the triple threat match for the North American Championship. Let's not forget, this man can put on a banger by himself. He doesn't need a partner. Yes. So, like, for me, I'm mad that they're not just going the solo route, especially how weak the men's division already is on NXT. Like, I don't understand. Like, Tony D doesn't even have a feud, really. Like, he just beat Ridge Holland out of nowhere, which wasn't even a feud. Like, there's like you have nothing going on in the mid card right now. Tony D's just walking around with the belt, just chilling, holding on to it.
Yeah.
And, it's just the men's division I've been really harsh on in NXT. It is just not booked well. It's not booked anywhere near the women's division. So having people like Briggs, who would be a great singles competitor, has already shown he's great by himself. True. And then you just just throw them with another random tag partner. And it's like, I hate that they do that. They do that so much in wrestling. They're just like, we don't have anything else for you, so we're just going to throw you in a tag team.
It's like, we'll do this.
I hate it.
The other thing, too, is like, if you're going to just do that anyway, why don't you have him come back and, well, it depends what they're going to do with Omos, but like, they could have made it seem like we trained in Japan together and now it's Briggs and Omos, like weird combination. Like instead of trying to make me meet a whole brand new guy, I'm not trying to be mean. It's not that I don't want to meet a brand new guy, but you're just layering confusion on me. And I don't know. I don't know. So that was my
and if you're confused, just imagine a person viewing NXT for the first time.
This is true. Because I do think that it has NXT more than I think the other main shows, right? Has a little bit more, I guess now Raw with like Netflix, but I think it has a little more of that flippability where someone's just like, bah, 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 oh, what's this? And so that's what's kind of nice about it. Kind of gets to keep that hammy style, like that over the top camp of it all is, I think, really approachable for a new viewer. So that's what I like to tell myself when there's a segment like tonight, which was my best of the best. It was brief. It was funny. It was Carmen Petrovic trying to talk to Kaylani Jordan.
Really?
Yes, because, well, I mean, I know that like you're going to pick a match or something legitimate. So then I try to pick some like random thing. But this was something that I loved because it didn't take a lot. But there's obviously been a shift. Like we've already mentioned it. Kalani Jordan is clearly turning heel as well. But tonight she just has like way thicker makeup on. She has a way darker lip. She is not listening to what this girl's saying. And like she's talking to her. And then she's just like, yeah, whatever. And like just has a very dismissive interaction and then walks away. And kind of a great moment of landing. Then Carmen Petrovic is like, what a bitch. And it was just like, that's really good because that's the kind of moment that Kalani cannot fabricate herself through just being snotty. You actually need another like relatively powerful character, right? It's not like I can't even think of somebody that they usually pick on, but I feel like they used to pick on back in the day Wendy Chu, then they were picking on Tatum. It's not like somebody that the locker room obviously picks on being like, what a bitch. It's someone else who I think is sort of arguably in a great way a bitch. And so that it's like it instantly legitimized Kalani's bad girl like pivot in a way that I don't think could have been done through any other mechanism. Like it needed somebody's voice that the audience trusts, but also that the audience kind of thinks is also a little bit mean but likable. Does that make any sense? I feel like Carmen is a really underrated character because she's that like.
I feel like her character is what Nikita's was supposed to be.
Yes, the like it's an in between
before she got injured,
sort of like where she's sassy, she's like sexy, but she's also like has the chops to back it all up. So you're not putting her just in that box of being like, oh, it's the sexy girl or like, oh, it's the sassy girl. Yeah. So I also, at least I maybe missed it. They didn't have any weird romance love triangle business, did they?
Not really. Just Kalani telling her he's going to leave her ass.
Yeah. So
that's all we got tonight. No love triangle. Darn.
Darn. But I did think it was funny that she, did straight up tell her he was going to leave her ass. And that was amusing. And I feel like.
Yeah, I'm loving the character turns. It was so needed, you know?
Yeah.
I was feeling it at the end of her title reign. I was like, they need to do something.
Yeah.
And then they had her lose the title. And then it was time. It was time. You know, sometimes in some instances, you just need a character change because it's just not working. But that wasn't the case with her. Yeah. I think with her, it was just more the fact that her original character had just run its course.
Yeah.
You know, there's a difference between just running its course and then just needing to change because it's just not working and not sitting with the fans. So
and what's
big difference in that.
It's also layered. Like she doesn't lose any of the innate like physicality or athleticism or like ability that she had when she was a face. She just now is also adding a dynamic of like, I mean, arguably good boundaries, arguably a little bit just mean, but I don't know. I liked it. I like her bold lip. I liked the heavy eyeliner. I liked it all. I do think I'm excited to see where kind of she goes next. I always try to kick them all out, but wouldn't it be like a dream faction if they sent heel Trick and heel Kalani Jordan to go be like new Trick Mellow Gang plus
Ooh.
Lady on the main roster?
Chef Amanda.
Because that I do think would
Amanda
be
cooking
so fun. And I think
That's
there's
good.
always I like a little
Pretty
mixed
good.
gender group. I feel
I
like
like that. I like that.
it.
We've been saying, or I've been saying that Carmelo needs something. So I'm all for it. I think that'd be cool.
That's funny.
Did you
Also,
take it?
I saw this
He
on
was missing this week.
yeah, I did. I took him down. I kidnapped him. I stole this necklace. Also, I do love a bold lip. I couldn't find any today, but it was fine. Instead, I did the statement necklace. So thank you for noticing that you can only do one or the other. You shouldn't be bold lipping and statement necklacing at the same time. She is a gem. I do think that
Yes.
they're going somewhere
Yes.
with her, and I really appreciate it. So that's nice. That is something I like a lot about NXT is I feel like when you get a little bit attached to a character, at least recently in the last 3 years or so, I can't speak to before, but I do think that if you get attached to them now, when they go to the main roster, you're not like heartbroken, devastated. Like it doesn't completely flip and you're just like, oh no, what happened? Like I do think that Mello's still mellow. He's still super charismatic and captivating and like being used and all of those good things. So yeah, I'm excited to see what happens. This is a good time of year.
It is. And at the same time, too, not to be like you, because you just want to kick everybody out to the
I
main
know. I'm
roster.
always trying to kick everyone out.
But at the same time, I'm with you because like this is the time of year where it's like, especially on NXT, the developmental brand, like this is the time where it's like, all right, so people are losing titles and clearly ready to take that next step. So that's like, all right, how do we exit these people out?
Yeah.
To pave way, for the people. Because like think about it. When's the last time we've seen Zarya?
Okay, so I got some heat about this. I would love for someone to clarify. Has she been off TV for the weeks or she just has not had a match? Because I can tell you it's been no match since I think it's week 6 because it was the one that aired on Christmas Eve, but it filmed before.
Yeah.
Because then I wrote a story about it because people were like talking to her saying blah blah blah. And then I was informed that she has not been off TV. She just hasn't had a match. So hasn't had a match. But like, is she doing anything substantive on TV? Like what was she doing? Because I guess I missed her.
Yeah, it's like where has she been? We haven't seen Ruka in a while. She had a match a few weeks ago. It's like there's so many people. Jada wasn't even on this week. We haven't seen Nikita in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
It's like there's so many people, and that's just the women's division. Like the men's division, we haven't seen. Like I said, we haven't seen Briggs in a while. It's just there's so many people that like on a week to week basis on NXT that don't get the TV time, and like it is that time where it's time to turn the page a little bit, especially in the women's division. It's so crowded, so stacked. I really hope Jordan Grace is not going to NXT because it's going to get so much worse.
I know. I've thought that as well. I don't think that would behoove any of the divisions, to be fair.
No, she needs to go to the main roster. NXT has
they're so loaded in NXT. I feel like it's
too much. And plus she's already been in the Rumble once. She's already had 3 other matches in NXT.
Yeah.
Other than that, and she's already defended her Knockouts Championship on TNA against a couple NXT wrestlers already.
Yeah.
So
I just don't think
I really hope they don't add her into this mix and complicate things even more.
I'm trying to read what NDV is saying about Mello, but it is about SmackDown. What was your best of the best?
Yeah, I think. Well, I already said my best of the best. The best of the best was
That's right, you did.
Yeah, my best of the best was I'm sticking with it. Yep. I really enjoyed Fallon Henley and Shotzi. That whole everything about that match was solid, and I think she really I think it was her night to shine. That was big for her. She really
Yeah.
needed that, especially because she's about to lose the title to Stephanie at Vengeance Day.
Correct.
So,
Yeah, I feel so that will happen. Yeah, and they did probably need that match in there to make it kind of you need to be able to have the opportunity to remind people who you are before it comes to an end, I feel like. And I think that's something that
sure.
NXT also kind of does well. And that is sometimes why I feel like it's not predictable, but you can almost figure out a little bit when it's coming because there is an element, I think, of respect to the title reign paid before a loss. So that you usually get like one really dope match and you're like, well, that was great. And then they'll lose it in the next week or two. And then that's
so my non match best of the best. I'm usually not big on the like shows, like interview segments.
Yeah.
But I loved A-Town Down Under tonight. That was so the Grayson Waller effect, like
yeah.
It wasn't even his tonight. Like it was Austin Theory because the crowd didn't even want to hear Grayson. They started cheering Austin Theory, and he's like, "You want me to talk?" And they start cheering, yeah. And so Austin Theory just takes over. That was hilarious. I loved that, and I loved his line, how he lifted up Obafemi. He's like, "Yeah, everybody thinks you're a future main eventer, and yada yada yada, future heavyweight champion, and we don't think you're any of that." What a great, like, you forget how great he is on the mic. Like, people just think of he got cooked by John Cena, and it's like, look, John Cena's the GOAT. So like, it's not like he got cooked by some rookie. Like, a lot of people would get cooked by John Cena on the mic. So let's be real here.
Yeah.
But people forget Austin Theory. Austin Theory is good on the mic too. And tonight was a great indication on how far ahead he still is.
Yeah.
Compared to NXT people, because like personally, I love Obafemi, but Austin Theory cooked him in that segment.
They Austin Theory and Grayson Waller are a pair that work really well together. And I kept thinking they were breaking them up and then never did. And I'm actually really, really happy that they're still together because and ended up feeling like a rib on somehow me personally at a point because I feel like I wrote like it's not at all. Trust me, believe I'm not a Delulu. I don't think that I have any kind of power in this universe about storylines, but I feel like I wrote so many damn articles about Austin Theory and Grayson Waller breaking up and that they never broke up. I feel like I helped keep that story together because it was just they're not going to give the sheets the satisfaction, honey.
They're just keeping them together in spite of you now. Like seeing all those articles were like,
only me. It is me. So thank me, everyone. No, but I think sometimes when there's like this popular discourse with fans, I think that it's fun that they meaning like the showrunners, to be fair, whether it be Triple H or Shawn Michaels, I think that there are more subtle nods to the shenanigans that goes on online than is always to meet the eye. And I think the repeated references where they tease that tag teams are breaking up, it does have a little bit to do with it. They enjoy creating the discourse, like creating the fuss of it all. And so those two still together, still wreaking havoc, hopefully harassing Shawn Michaels more, frankly, because I do love Grayson Waller and Shawn Michaels feud was something I really loved.
That was great. Like, that was some good stuff.
I did love it.
Almost forgot about that.
Oh man. I kind of agree. It is kind of like it's a little bit, it's like one of those fun times to be a fan where it is similar to, there's other shows that I've watched like that where like I might be watching it and I'm watching a very surface level situation, but someone else who's watching like 15 YouTube videos about like unpacked, what does this mean? Is like really like, oh, her brain chip was blue, not pink. That means blah, blah, blah. You're like, oh my God, like I don't even know what the hell you're talking about, man. But it was Westworld. That show made me feel so stupid. I was like, what are you talking about, man? My kid's dad would be like, oh, okay, hold on. Like, let me explain a lore that I learned about on YouTube in a 2-hour like documentary or something. I'm like, what the fuck? I just want to watch the show. I just want to watch the show. Okay.
Right, I don't care about all that.
I don't want to do some online research.
Right.
I don't want to have to watch AEW Dark. I'm just kidding. People used to get so would be so mad about like that's not real. Okay, it's still real if it's on the internet and it's coming from the company. It's real. I wish that NXT would have Level Up on the internet. I would watch it.
Yes,
Bring me back
fire.
Level Up. I'm gonna miss my Level Up friends.
They finally uploaded all the
Yeah.
NXT. They got their own YouTube channel now, so
Yeah,
we got
that's kind of
all the
exciting.
history, so we can at least watch those.
That's true. We can go back.
We can
We
do
can go
that.
back and enjoy.
My the only thing I haven't done yet is my
Yeah.
worst of the worst. So my worst of the worst, you've hit on a couple of them, but I'm gonna go a little bit of a different route. It's something that at first I loved, and that's the whole Ethan Page thing. So at first I loved it because it was funny. You know, it's like I'm gonna take your smile type stuff. You know, it was a new side of him. But like tonight is just like, why is he facing Cedric Alexander? First of all, and then second of all, Javon Evans wasn't cleared, and then all of a sudden he comes out and just hops like a rabbit over the ropes and attacks Ethan Page. It's like, all right, why wasn't he cleared? Why can't?
Yeah.
Like, all right, is that the story we're going with? Like, I'm not feeling the story as much as I was at the beginning of it. It was very violent at the beginning, and I guess I kind of like violence. Thank Legend Killer Randy Orton for instilling that in me.
Yeah.
But that's kind of where I felt like it was going at first, and then now it's just like I'm not feeling it anymore. I didn't feel that whole segment. I wasn't buying it. He beat Cedric Alexander. Obviously, Cedric isn't going to beat him, and Javon comes out because Ethan was getting ready to attack him after the match and take away his smile. And Javon comes out, bouncy, jumps over the ropes and beats him up, and he wasn't clear to. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense.
I sometimes think that Ethan Page at this point has come into that Jordan Grace territory where like if you, and it's not that anyone else is bad. That's not what I'm saying. I am saying that Ethan Page is so exceptional that had they executed the storyline that you and I thought we started watching, it would have buried anybody else, right? Like it wouldn't have, it's not going to build up Javon Evans. It's not going to actually create like a career-making moment for the other side. It's just demonstrating how awesome Ethan Page is. So I understand from like we can't even do this moment. But I think that he is someone who is a little bit stifled creatively because if you're, I don't know who he can bully on the main roster, but I just feel like, I get scared to get clipped. That's my 2025 resolution. I'm not going to be scared. I'm not going to be scared to share my thoughts because mean people on the internet will be rude to me. Sometimes you're rude to me anyway, mean people on the internet. So, I feel like Ethan Page is WWE's MJF and they have a very real opportunity to take it and go really far with it in a way that that same almost to that Cody level of like Cody Rhodes as a distinct individual and athlete didn't necessarily radically transform from one joint to the other. It's like the character presentation and the gravitas that's brought to the character is sort of the missing element. And that was what was that like just inherent respect in the booking, I think. And so I would like to see Ethan Page book super strong. And I don't think they can do that in NXT without just burying someone.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. So I don't know what that means. I don't know if that means that you have to go to the main roster to do that. I don't know who you do it to once you're there. But he seems like he would be a wonderful foil to have for like, I would love to see him pick on Alpha Academy for weeks for no fucking reason.
That was the first people I thought of too.
Like just there are, and I don't mean it in a pejorative sense. It's not like an underling, but there is like the way that the mid card on the main roster works. It wouldn't be a complete and total burial if Ethan Page is harassing you for 6 weeks. Whereas I do think if Ethan Page legitimately stole Javon Evans' smile, we could have actually just accidentally destroyed this character. But I want to see him steal someone's smile, okay? So I don't know who, I don't know when, but I do think that what they started there, they probably almost saw what we saw. Like, this is going to be too good. Almost.
Like, it could have worked.
And it could have really worked. And I do think Javon Evans is young enough that
Yeah.
it actually wouldn't be like, it's not a career-ending situation. He would just have to have a really
No,
strong
no.
feud. But yeah, so I get what you're saying though. I didn't understand. I felt like I had missed a backstage segment or something. Like it was just randomly Ethan Page and Cedric Alexander, and I was like, wait, what? Like, what
Yeah,
did?
it was from last week because Javon wasn't cleared to wrestle, and Cedric's like, I got him next
I'll
week.
do it,
And it's
friend.
like, yeah, it's stupid. So yeah, that's definitely my worst of the worst tonight. But still a great show, and that leads us to Vengeance Day, which is gonna be absolutely freaking stacked, folks.
So
Real quickly. So we are already Saturday, February 15th in Washington, DC, NXT Vengeance Day. We already have a triple threat NXT Women's Championship match, which we didn't even talk about yet. I was saving that for last. So that started the night. We didn't even so I mean, clearly a big highlight having those. I really don't want to leave Cora Jade out, but I have to in this instance. She's not there yet. But Roxanne, Bayley, and Giulia in the ring at the same time, I need that. That was a moment I was waiting for. And it was a great match, obviously, that kicked off the night. Obviously, you knew that Bayley and Giulia were going to come out on top, and Cora would be the fall girl in this match, which they made very clear, and Roxanne made very clear why she deserves her rematch because she wasn't even pinned tonight. But that was a big moment too. And so Bayley has earned herself an NXT Women's Championship match, triple threat at Vengeance Day. You got Bayley, Giulia, and Roxanne in a triple threat. You got Stephanie Vaquer and Fallon Henley for the NXT Women's North American Championship. And so far, it's not official yet because Trick Williams has to earn it.
Oh, right. Yes.
Ava told Trick, all right, you got to earn it next week because next week Trick and Obafemi are tagging against A-Town Down Under. So he can try to earn his right at the title again. But as of right now, triple threat for the NXT Championship at Vengeance Day. Obafemi against Austin Theory against Grayson Waller. As of right now. That's the
All
card.
I want is to see one of those stupid spots where the guy lays down and tries to get his tag team partner to pin him. I just like I don't care. I just want it. Okay. Just even if it's a fake out, I just want to see it once.
So are they gonna make it a fatal 4-way? Or are they just gonna or is she just gonna be like, all right, Trick, you get your rematch since you guys won the tag match? Like I don't even know what's going on there.
Sometimes I think that NXT, I'm like, oh, I just must have missed it. But like, no, I think they just leave it a little loose. I think like we'll figure it out. Like we'll get to it after. We'll figure it out. Don't worry about it. Yeah, okay, Hickenbottom, we won't worry about it. We know what you're up to. You're in the kitchen. We'll stay out here. I will say, can you tell us what you're doing this weekend? Will you share with the good people?
Oh yeah. So folks, I'm going to the Royal Rumble this weekend in Indianapolis, Indiana. And this is my first opportunity as media. So I'm actually covering the Royal Rumble as media for the first time in my career this weekend.
I'm so excited.
I'm looking forward to it. It's all I've been thinking about for the past month, Amanda.
I know. That would be
so it's finally here.
They're finally here. Who is like who would be your dream entrant in both the men's and women's to see if there's like one person you're like, oh, if you could just like magic wand it.
Like for this year?
Yeah. Like who would come Saturday? Out that you would want to see?
So for the men's, I know this is really far-fetched, but he's going to be at WrestleCon, and he was one of my personal favorites growing up. I've always been a sucker for heels. I want Mr. Kennedy to return.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, I want Mr. Kennedy to return at the Royal Rumble. He's going to be at WrestleCon. I'm already ready in line to meet him. So I'll be able to. That. Mr. Kennedy's on the men's side. For the women's, that was a little bit harder because I feel like the women do more surprises. So like,
yeah,
it's harder. But with the women, I will say it's not going to happen. But I'm going to say it anyway. I really want to just be completely shocked and Mandy Rose comes back.
Oh, that would be so good.
I just want to be completely shocked. Like, what?
What?
Like, Mandy Rose is back? Like, you guys really, like, work this out? I want, because I really thought they were building something strong with her. And it
Yeah.
just ended so poorly for something so stupid. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, because like I think AJ Lee is already. I think she's gonna be in it. It's not official or
Oh,
anything.
really? Do you?
It's not official or anything, but I have a really strong feeling AJ Lee is coming back at the Rumble just as a surprise. We already know Charlotte's coming back. Becky's probably gonna be back. Trish will probably be in it. It's like there's no really, you know. But other than that, if I was going with a legend that I would like to see return, it's a tie. I'm gonna go with the tie here. So one, I would love to see Victoria.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I've always been a big Victoria fan, and Jazz.
Yeah, that would be
Those would
cool.
be two others that I would love to see be a surprise entrant.
You know who I don't want to see again? Michelle McCool. Michelle McCool, we see you every year, girl.
I know.
Every year.
But you know she's going to be in it again.
I wrote an article recently and I listed when she appeared and she did miss like one. And I don't know which one. Like, I don't remember. But it was like, yeah, last year she came through the crowd. Was that last year?
Yes.
Yeah, almost no Michelle McCool. But everyone make your prayer circles, make your manifestation corners for Amanda, because guess what? Amanda's going to become the most insufferable human on earth. If Nikki Bella's back, bitch, we're going to have a
let's go. Let's
Amanda's about to
go.
become the most annoying human on earth, because I will be empowered and strengthened and emboldened to finally now be the Bella stan that I always was at home. But you fuckers have to hear about it. So, please don't clip this. Who's the guy? What's the clip guy? Don't, please. I'll pay you off. I don't remember his name, but there is nobody tell the Body Slam crew that I just had a real freak out about Nikki Bella. Keep that on the down low, you guys. But I got really excited when Brie was in it, but I think the best possible, I mean, I don't foresee them both being in it, but yeah, if we could get a Nikki Bella return, I would be so obsessed. Okay, well, we'll get out of here. We'll let you guys get on with your night. Stick around on this channel. There is Game Changer Weekly coming up next. You can get all your GC Dub news. I feel like there's always big things cooking in GCW, to be honest. So there's they've had so many guests. Like it's going down as soon as we are off of the channel. Okay, so don't leave, don't click off. We love you guys. Thank you so much for coming. MDB was here. Elite Spear was here. If you were also here and you forgot to leave us a comment, that's okay. Don't forget to make a little comment on this here. If you're watching later on YouTube, it never in my life has occurred to me that anyone watches it on catch up. Never did I ever think that someone would go out of their way to either find us on Apple Podcasts or on Spotify or anything. That's so cool. So if you're listening anywhere other than watching live, we really appreciate you. We want to shout you out too. So drop your name in some comment section somewhere. Tweet me. Do whatever you do. But we want to say thank you because we love the Besties. We are here for you.
Every Tuesday. Always a pleasure to be with you guys. Always a pleasure to be with Amanda. Another great show.
Next week, we get to hear some scoops. We're going to hear what it is like as media at Royal Rumble. I'm so excited. Oh my gosh. Okay. Follow DC everywhere. I will tweet out and Instagram out his handles so that you can follow along on the magic, because I just think it's so fun when people are doing cool things. It's like when kind, great people have great things happen. That's amazing. But when they're like dope things for kind, great people, it's even better, because it's just like, oh man, I'd be super jazzed if you're going to a professional chess championship this weekend, but I think the Royal Rumble is better, friend. So I'm excited. You guys take good care. Have a good week. And also send DC money. Okay, send him the coin. All right. Take care. Have a good week.
Peace and love, everybody.
I'm really